Stalin Jr. attacks, Congress endorses. BJP asks, is Hindu hate INDIA agenda? Is being anti-Sanatan prerequisite in opposition alliance? Arnab debates at 9 p.m.
Now, as the Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi has called for a special session of the Parliament on the 18th of September till the 22nd, Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge has called for a special session of the Alliance Party leaders at his residence tomorrow at the Rajaji Marg in the national capital. As per sources, the opposition leaders will deliberate on and decide their strategy for the upcoming special session that would be held from the 18th till the 22nd of September.
There is a mega huddle in opposition ahead of Parliament's special session. Days after the announcement of special Parliament session from September 18 to 22, Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge has called a meeting on I.N.D.I.A block MPs on September 5. According to sources, the I.N.D.I.A block leaders will decide their strategy for the upcoming parliamentary session. The meeting comes amid the massive face-off over centre's One Nation, One Poll push. With Adhir Ranjan refusing to be a part of the 8-member committee, and Rahul Gandhi's attempt to fearmonger over One Nation, One Poll. But they have gotten it back from the BJP.
This dotted existence, they do not represent India. These roadblocks, this incomprehension is by the dotted existence of I.N.D.I.A. So this dotted existence cannot comprehend what
Stalin Jr. attacks, Congress endorses. BJP asks, is Hindu hate INDIA agenda? Is being anti-Sanatan prerequisite in opposition alliance? Arnab debates at 9 p.m.
2017 Republic TV. (2019) Republic Bharat. 2021 Republic Bangla. 2023 Republic Kannada, coming soon on India's largest news network.
From the Delhi studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Arnab Goswami on the debate at 9. Presented by Amity University. Powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group. The new Kia Seltos, Century Ply, Club Prime, and PolicyBazaar.com.
Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot overlook the fact that a very, very, very important member, constituent party of the I.N.D.I.A. alliance has called for the eradication of Hinduism. We cannot disregard the fact that senior leaders of the Congress party have joined the DMK in calling for the eradication of Hinduism, in calling for the eradication of Sanatan Dharma. Ladies and gentlemen, it is inconceivable. The level of hatred against Hinduism is inconceivable, that the DMK and the Congress should be calling for the eradication of Hinduism. And the straight question would be asked, would M.K. Stalin utter such words about any other religion? And if he would not, then how does Udayanidhi Stalin have the right to utter such words about Hinduism? Would Udayanidhi Stalin, a very important leader of the I.N.D.I.A. alliance, has called for the eradication of Hinduism and has called for the eradication of Sanatan Dharma in all levels of abuse and attack. This is by far the worst. Karti Chidambaram, son of P. Chidambaram, a very senior Congress leader, has supported the call to eradicate Sanatan Dharma, ladies and gentlemen. And now even if they try to qualify it, we must not allow it. The only question we must ask again and again, repeatedly, with more force and more anger, we must ask them, would they say such words about any other religion? We must ask them, would they call for the eradication of any religion? Apart from Hinduism, would they call for the eradication of Buddhism or Sikhism or Islam or Zoroastrianism? Why just Hinduism, ladies and gentlemen? And how is this okay? The question is not how the DMK is saying it. The question is, how is the Congress party justifying it? Would Sonia Gandhi be quiet today if anyone called for the eradication of Christianity? Would Rahul Gandhi be quiet for that matter? But it's, of course, in this case, it's about eradicating Hinduism, so it's all right. Power for the cause. This is how these people qualify themselves to be secular. That's why I call them pseudo-secular. Ladies and gentlemen, people who are concerned about the slightest lack of empathy towards the minority community today are clapping and applauding as the DMK, followed dutifully by the Congress, is calling for the eradication of Hinduism. What about Hindu sensitivity? What about it? Is it wrong to ask? 80% and more of the population of this country follow a faith which some people are calling to be eradicated. And how does Sharad Pawar, Rahul Gandhi and Lalu Prasad and Mamta Banerjee and all the rest of them feel that this is not an issue to be speaking about? And they expect the people of this country to entrust them with power in this country. Before you vote for someone, you would like to have certainty on certain basic principles. What is their position on foreign policy? What is the secret document they have signed with the Chinese? How do we know the contents of that secret document cannot be used by the Chinese to blackmail the country if they come to power? Similarly, ladies and gentlemen, What is their fundamental position on Hinduism? It is a relevant question. And asking that question repeatedly does not make us communal, it makes us truly secular. What is their real position on Hinduism? Some of their member parties say break Hinduism in Karnataka. Some of their member parties say eradicate Hinduism. Then they join them and say eradicate Sanatan Dharma. There are no limits. But I think we have a right to know what is their position on Hinduism. And then they give lectures about Mohabbat ki Dukaan. Does Rahul Gandhi have the guts to go to the United States of America and call for the eradication of Christianity? Does Rahul Gandhi have the guts to go to the United Kingdom and call for the end of the Anglican Church? Or more specifically, does Rahul Gandhi have the guts to go to Italy and ask for an end to the Catholic faith? Can he? And if he cannot, and if anyone else did, he would not be quiet if he was an Italian politician. And if he calls himself an Indian politician, then he cannot, and I repeat, cannot be quiet when a major constituent of the I.N.D.I.A. alliance is calling for the eradication of Hinduism. This is a serious matter. It is not just a semantical or dialectical or polemical matter. This is a matter which has touched a chord with the people of this country. Going to Mumbai, sitting in a 7-star hotel, talking about the good old times, does not generate faith in the hearts of the people of this country. The alliance, the DMK and the Congress particularly should know that if they have dared to call for the eradication of Sanatan Dharma, then this fact will be repeated again and again and again. And people who follow Hinduism, the Sanatan Dharma, cannot forgive, cannot forget such a statement. Ladies and gentlemen, this is no Mohabbat ki Dukaan. This is hate beyond the extreme. It is hate against Hindus. Let's debate, ladies and gentlemen. Debate number one. Debate number one is simple. We must say the only way is to apologize to the Hindu community. Ladies and gentlemen, debate number two this evening. The editors' guilt with a capital T, the editors' guilt of India has been caught red-handed in another fake news case. Debate number three tonight. Rightly so, the Chief Justice wants a pledge of allegiance from an anti-national National Congress leader who raised anti-India slogans. Great controversy at 10:30 p.m. and here are the headlines this Monday evening on the debate tonight.
So I don't care. I still stand by whatever I said. The DMK party was formed for social justice. I will always talk about it. I will always talk about what are the defects of the Sanatana. I never called for genocide. Do you have any proof?
I.N.D.I.A. top ally asks for the eradication of Hinduism, asks for the eradication of Sanatan Dharma and is unapologetic towards the abuses hurled on Hindus.
Any religion that does not ensure that you have the dignity of being a human being is not a religion, according to me.
More and more abuse coming from the I.N.D.I.A. alliance for the Hindu community. Rahul Gandhi tries to be quiet. Congress leaders endorse the demand to eradicate Hinduism. All of the country is completely shocked.
I have not the slightest hesitation in saying that the whole Ghamandiya conglomerate is anti-Hindu.
I.N.D.I.A. alliance in big controversy about the anti-Hindu position, about the abuse to the Hindu community. As the BJP says, it is spreading hate before the elections. Editors Guild of India caught red-handed in another fake news scam. FIR against them for their fake news reports on Manipur.
We proceed on the basis that he's willing to file an affidavit before our court saying that, well, he owes allegiance like every other Indian citizen to the Constitution of India, and that Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of the country.
I.N.D.I.A. leader Akbar Lone in controversy for his anti-India comments, told to submit a pledge of allegiance for his pro-Pakistan slogans. And a big step towards a manned mission to the moon. Vikram lander conducts hop experiment on the lunar surface. And ladies and gentlemen, a very top leader of a very top party of the I.N.D.I.A. alliance has called for the annihilation and eradication of the Hindu religion. He's called for the eradication of Sanatan Dharma. This toxic, malicious attack on the Hindu religion comes exactly a week after another I.N.D.I.A. party leader called Hinduism a hoax. The back-to-back attacks on Hinduism by leaders of the I.N.D.I.A. alliance is not a coincidence. It is a pattern to abuse Hindus, to target Hindus. This is what has been said and how Congress leaders supported it, and then we debate.
Standing on the dais with a banner that can be translated to Conclave on Abolishing Sanatan Dharma, Tamil Nadu CM Stalin's son Udayanidhi Stalin gave an open call to eradicate the oldest religion in the world.
இந்த மாநாட்டுடைய தலைப்பே மிகவும் சிறப்பாக அமைந்திருக்கின்றது. சனாதன எதிர்ப்பு மாநாடு என்று போடாமல் சனாதன ஒழிப்பு மாநாடு என்று நீங்கள் இதை போட்டிருக்கிறீர்கள், இதை அழைத்திருக்கிறீர்கள், இந்த நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு பெயரிட்டீர்கள். அதற்கு என்னுடைய வாழ்த்துக்கள். சிலவற்றை நாம் ஒழிக்கத்தான் வேண்டும், எதிர்க்க முடியாது. கொசு, டெங்கு காய்ச்சல், மலேரியா, கொரோனா இதையெல்லாம் நம்ம எதிர்க்கக்கூடாது, ஒழித்து கட்ட வேண்டும். அப்படிதான் இந்த சனாதனம்.
Congress's old ally and I.N.D.I.A. partner DMK has drawn malaria-dengue analogy to Sanatan Dharma and called for its abolition, thus hurting the sentiments of over 95 crore Hindus in India.
Your speech has become a controversy now, and the BJP is continuously attacking you, though you have given a clarification.
I don't care. I still stand by whatever I said. The DMK party was formed for social justice. I will always talk about it. I will always talk about what are the defects of the Sanatana. I never called for genocide. Do you have any proof?
The Congress has used freedom of speech excuse to defend the anti-Hindu hate speech.
Any religion which does not give you equal rights, does not treat you like humans, is not a religion. So it's as good as a disease.
Sarva Dharma Sambhavana is the Congress ideology. But you have to understand, every political party have their own freedom to tell their views.
स्टालिन ने कहा कि कोरोना की तरह सनातन धर्म को भी खत्म कर देना चाहिए.
वो उनकी व्यक्तिगत राय होगी, हम उससे सहमत नहीं हैं.
The allies who shared stage with Stalin last week have a very guarded response now.
We should not involve in any matter which may hurt any section of people. It may be he's a junior, so he may not be knowing that. I feel that they have to respect every religion.
The parties of the alliance have a history of anti-Sanatan comments.
Message is that right-wing fundamentalist groups are suspected to be behind some bomb blasts. These are religious fundamentalist groups.
हिंदू धर्म नाम की कोई धर्म है ही नहीं। हिंदू धर्म केवल धोखा है।
BJP has some straight questions.
कभी उदयनिधि, कभी कार्ति चिदम्बरम, कभी प्रियंका खड़गे, कभी स्वामी प्रसाद मौर्य जी, कभी केजरीवाल जी के नेता गौतम जी, ये सब एक योजना के तहत अलग अलग समय में इस काम पे लग गए हैं। हम पूछना चाहते हैं कि क्या सनातन धर्म को गाली देना कांग्रेस पार्टी की नीति बनी हुई है, ये घमंडिया गठबंधन की नीति बनी हुई है?
Is the opposition united in its attack on the most ancient religion and way of life, Hinduism? Let's debate.
Shyam Prasad Meka, is Rahul Gandhi agreeable to eradicate his own religion? By his own confession, he is a Hindu. Does Rahul Gandhi therefore plan to eradicate Hinduism?
Basically, see, why will Congress party get into these things? Congress party respects every religion and respects
because it has got into these things and because it has supported the demand to eradicate Sanatan Dharma.
Wait, that is a wrong representation. Congress party.
He has given the clarification already.
And first of all,
Udayanithi has already
Mr. Udayanithi Stalin did not call for eradication of any religion.
Louder.
He called for eradication of the afflictions that are plaguing the Hindu religion. That's what he did.
Exactly.
There are afflictions in other religions too. There is no religion that is not afflicted with certain things which are inappropriate. Would you eradicate those religions and don't shout?
We will, yes.
You will eradicate Hinduism.
No. He was talking of social reforms. He was talking of social reforms.
Absolutely yes.
He has already
Absolutely
clarified.
yes.
It is the BJP
Absolutely
agenda.
yes. You have called Hinduism a disease like dengue that must be eradicated. You have called Hinduism a disease like dengue that must be eradicated. I would like to know who will be politically eradicated instead. I want to put this to vote to the people of this country, for enough is enough, and this has been said again and again. We put it to vote tonight. If members of the I.N.D.I. alliance think they will get away by saying you will compare my religion to dengue, compare my religion to corona, and say it must be eradicated, and if you think you'll get a few claps, then we shall also have the entire country stand up and oppose this perverted mindset. It's a challenge. It's a challenge to the alliance. Let there be a vote on the subject tonight. I would like to see how many people vote for you, sir.
Every backward will stand with Stalin.
I would like to see how many people vote for you, sir.
Your Brahminical supremacy.
I would like to see how many people vote for you, sir, in a country that is more than 80% Hindu. More than 80% Hindu in this country.
Very clearly they are with Stalin.
I want to come in on
There is no monolithic Hindu. The Dalits of this nation understand why Stalin made the statement.
The represent Hindus?
Do
you represent Hindus? Who the hell are you? You are a leftist bigot.
To discrimination for centuries.
You are a leftist bigot.
You want to denounce.
You are reduced to being in power in one state, that is Kerala.
You want to denounce Phule.
Your CPM has been booted out of every state in India. यहाँ बैठकर सनातन धर्म पर भाषण मत दो.
That there is no problem.
Apart from Kerala, you are not in power in any state in India, and that speaks volumes about the fact that the people of this country have rejected your leftist cabal.
दलितों के खिलाफ problem है. There is a problem, and you have to recognize the problem. You
माफी
cannot
मांगो
just walk away.
हिंदुओं से माफी मांगो. हिंदुओं से माफी मांगो.
The words might be wrong. The words might be wrong. But he has justified that he stands for
Apologize to Hindus. Apologize to Hindus. Uddhav Thackeray. History will remember. History will remember. History will remember. Uddhav Thackeray as the leader who couldn't open his mouth. Who couldn't open his mouth when his partner says we must eradicate Hinduism. History will remember Uddhav Thackeray for being that person.
Please. I want to come here, Arnab.
History will also remember Rahul Gandhi for being the person who has been complicit with his silence when the I.N.D.I.A senior partner says we must eradicate Sanatan Dharma and says Hinduism is like dengue. He says Hinduism is like malaria. He says Hinduism is like coronavirus. It must be abolished. It must be eradicated. Let this be put to the vote. Make this the issue of the 2024 elections. For we are not sure of the position that you have on Hinduism. For you seem to be part of a conspiracy against the great religion of Hinduism.
There is no conspiracy.
Your hate has come to the surface now.
Arnab, can you please moderate the debate and ask this bigot
This is
from
a
the
major
left
conspiracy, sir. It involves 80% of this country. Everybody watching Republic tonight. I say call for a movement. Call for a movement to apologize to Hindus. Let there be a counter movement. Arvind Kejriwal should call for an apology to Hindus. Akhilesh should call for an apology to Hindus. Rahul Gandhi should call for an apology to Hindus. There has to be a nationwide apology to Hindus for this subject alone.
Nobody will call for apology. This is not the formal statement of INDIA. This is not the formal statement of INDIA.
Why is this man shouting and Arnab? Why are you mollycoddling him?
It is a personal statement.
Why is this leftist bigot being mollycoddled on your debate?
Then we call, okay, 1 minute.
Why is this
Vivek, thank you. Vivek, thank you. We're opening the debate.
Yeah.
In that case, thank you very much. I'm going to Sanju and then Dushyant. Yes. Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Their defense is an informal comment to abolish Hinduism, eradicate Hinduism. Then I call then for a formal statement against this statement if they have the guts. If they don't, then it will be clear to me that Udayanithi Stalin matters more to this alliance than 80% of the population of this country. It is as simple as that.
You are talking,
and that is what it comes down to.
Who are the 80%?
80% of the population of this country.
Who are
80% who are Hindus. 80% who are Hindus. Don't you know?
Who are Hindus?
Do you think 80% is from any other religion? 80% are Hindus. And before you as a Congress leader start abusing Hindus more, please understand your mask is off. Don't take Bageshwar Baba and try to get votes in Madhya Pradesh. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't take Bageshwar Baba and try to get votes in Madhya Pradesh. Don't be a hypocrite.
Arnab, may I come in?
Sanju is responding. The debate is hot.
Thank you.
I am not opening lines, but I am going to read tweets. Sanju.
Arnab, I need to make a point. I don't want to shout. ठीक है, आप बोल लो पहले. आप जब खत्म हो जाएगा आपका तब मैं बोलूंगी. Arnab, let him complete because I don't want to shout. This is a very sensitive topic and I need my time to make my points. Thank you. I just want to say this first and foremost, Arnab Goswami, thank you for a no-holds-barred, very powerful introduction. As you rightly said, will Rahul Gandhi, will Udayanithi Stalin, will Akhilesh Yadav, will Mamata Banerjee, will Sonia Gandhi, will Priyanka Vadra, will Palturam Nitish Kumar, will Lalu Prasad Yadav, will Tejasvi Yadav, will Arvind Kejriwal, will any of these people have even an iota of the audacity that they show on local soil? Can they go to foreign soil and say anything against the Protestants, the Eastern Orthodox, the Roman Catholic Church? No. Can they speak the manner in which they've tarnished Hinduism and Sanatan Dharma? Can they speak like that about the practices of polygamy in Islam? No. And I just want to say one thing. Be it Satish Jarkiholi, who said Hinduism to hai hi nahi. Hinduism ek dikhawa hai, ek dhakosla hai. Be it Swami Prasad Maurya, who said Hindu and Hinduism are dirty words. Be it the likes of Rajendra Pal Gautam, who was an Aam Aadmi Party leader till October 2022. He said Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar, Durga, Saraswati, ye sab sirf dikhawa hai. There is nothing called Brahma, nothing called Vishnu, nothing called Maheshwar, nothing called Saraswati, nothing called Durga. Then you have the likes of somebody like Chandrasekhar, who's the education minister in Bihar, and he says that the amount of hate that is being spread by Ramayana, Manusmriti, Vedas and Mahabharata, that is for all to see. These are the kind of leaders who are a part of the I.N. alliance. I will borrow Arnab's terminology. I want to ask Rahul Gandhi, when the 2017 Gujarat elections were on the anvil, I remember Rahul Gandhi visited 38 temples and he had worn his Janayu outside his kurta. And to everybody he proudly declared, मैं एक जनेऊधारी हिंदू हूँ, मेरा गोत्र दत्तात्रेय है, मैं एक कश्मीरी ब्राह्मण हूँ. प्रियंका वड्रा उससे मेरी नाक तो मेरी दादी इंदिरा गांधी जैसी है, पर मैं एक प्राउड हिंदू प्रैक्टिसिंग हिंदू और हिंदुत्ववादी लड़की हूँ. Sonia Gandhi, I don't know what she says or what she preaches. That's a mystery to me. For all I care, I don't care. But my limited point is, why is it that K.C. Venugopal did not condemn Udyanidhi Stalin? What did he say? We respect all religions. What did Uddhav Thackeray say? He said we respect all religions. Did he name and shame Udyanidhi Stalin? No. Now imagine if this comment were made by even some minor, minuscule BJP leader. The tickers on television channels would be running, saffron bigot tarnishes Islam. Saffron bigot tarnishes Christianity. Is it a free for all कि Hindus को हिंदू मर्यादा को आप कुछ भी बोलकर चले जाओगे? And just 10 seconds more, Arnab. The refrain on social media is that we are against caste. We are not against Sanatan Dharma, and people have been quoting Baba Saheb Ambedkar. But I have been on a zillion debates on various channels, including yours, Arnab Goswami, on the hijab debate. And on hijab, Baba Saheb Ambedkar said that if there is one regressive and hideous piece of clothing that is a shame, it is the hijab. That time people said, no, we don't believe Ambedkar. What did Ambedkar say about Islam? He said you can either be a great Indian or a true Muslim. You cannot be both. If you're a great Indian, you are not a true Muslim. If you're a true Muslim, you cannot be a great Indian. These are Ambedkar's words in his book, Pakistan or the Partition of India. That time you don't believe Ambedkar when he questions the patriotic fervor and the patriotic spirit of Islamists. But when Ambedkar talks about a casteless society, it is so convenient to you, you lap it up. So basically, you will believe Ambedkar in parts and discard him in parts, which is not acceptable. And my limited point is this. Why is it that in a country which has 80% Hindu population, anyone, any Ayaram, Gayaram, be it Satish Jarkioli, be it Swami Prasad Maurya, be it Akhilesh Yadav, who was saying prior to the Uttar Pradesh 2022 elections, मुझे मेरे सपने में कृष्ण भगवान नजर आते हैं. After that, I've never heard the name Krishna Bhagwan from Akhilesh Yadav. And his leader Swami Prasad Maurya continues to demonize Hindus, saying Hindus ढकोसलेबाज हैं, दोगले हैं, Hindu नाम की तो कोई चीज ही नहीं है. And I want to tell Udyanidhi Stalin one thing. If you believe in a casteless society, why is it that when you go to Chennai and Vellore, where Dalits are in significant majority, you invoke Dalits? Why is it that when you go to northern Tamil Nadu, you speak of the Vaniyar caste? Why is it that when you go to Kanchipuram district, you speak about the Mudaliyar caste? Why is it that when you go to the western part of Tamil Nadu, you speak about the Kongu caste? Why is it that when you go to the southern part of Tamil Nadu and central part of Tamil Nadu, you speak about the Mukulator caste? Why is it that when you go to places like Tirunelveli, when you go to places like Virudanagar, when you go to places like Kanyakumari, you speak about the Nadar caste because there the Nadars are in majority. So if anybody has profiteered from caste-based politics, it is DMK. And remember, Arnab, when DMK's Karunanidhi became the chief minister for the first time in 1969, his opening remark was, I believe what my idol Periyar said, Ram is a thief and Lord Ram mutilated thousands of women and he was a drunkard. These are the words of Karunanidhi. Shame on him, shame on Udyanidhi, shame on the
I think you made a fairly long intervention there and a good one. But having said that, I'd like to bring in Sadhvi Jayabharti, Hindu scholar, and Dushyant Sridhar, Vedic scholar. You see, Dushyant and Mr. Pulla Rao, let me also address you. Some people, superficial and illiterate people, say we are only talking about caste. No, they are talking about Hinduism. They do not have guts. They are cowards. They hate Hinduism. They want to abuse Hinduism. But then they sometimes call it Hindutva and sometimes call it Sanatan Dharma. The fact is, Hindutva, Sanatan Dharma, Hinduism is all one. And I would say, Mr. Pulla Rao, no person should have the guts to abuse Hinduism. Because if you abuse Hinduism, you are also abusing Mahatma Gandhi, who said Sanatan Dharma is not circumscribed like a proverbial frog in the well. It is broad as the ocean. You are also abusing Swami Vivekananda. You are also abusing former Chief Justice of India, S.A. Bobde, when he praised Sanatan Dharma. Now the point of the matter is this. There are some people who have made anti-Hinduism their politics. They are small-minded frogs in the well. They are the people like the Congress who have questioned the existence of Ram. They are people like Rahul Gandhi who say people who go to temples molest people on buses. They are small-minded people like Chidambaram who coined the word Hindu terrorism. The Trinamool Congress has insulted Kali. The JDU says that Ramcharitmanas spreads hatred and the VCK is anti-Hindu. The point of the matter is this. Hinduism is a very tolerant religion, Mr. Pulla Rao. Very tolerant religion. But I also believe that today Hindus who are more than 80% of the population of this country are proud Hindus and very assertive Hindus. 80% of the population of Uttar Pradesh, 79.83% of the population of Maharashtra, 83% of the population of Bihar, and 88% of the population of Tamil Nadu, 70% of the population of Bengal. They will not change their religion, Mr. Pulla Rao. Neither will they tolerate someone who abuses their religion. You know why people do this? They do this, Mr. Pulla Rao, because they believe Hindus are not a consolidated vote bank. I am against religious vote banks. But this, if people stand up against an abuse like this, will be standing up for their rights under the Constitution of India. And the question is this: if the I.N.D.I.A alliance, Shyam Mekka and Pulla Rao do not take a position on this, then this will be the biggest issue before 2024. Biggest issue. It is not going to go away, Shyam Mekka. Every night we will ask this question.
Yeah.
Every night. Now issue a clarification. Mr. Pulla Rao first. Mr. Pulla Rao first.
Okay,
Mr. Pulla Rao first.
Let me answer you straight. You have taken away, let us go to one context. You have brought a whole galaxy, whole pantheon of leaders whom you have said they did this, they did that. They'll defend themselves, or as you say, they'll... Let me get to Tamil Nadu. What issue has been raised, I won't defend it, because let him interpret it as he likes, Uday Stalin. But this was been going on in Tamil Nadu.
I want to speak about it, Mr. Rao. What has he said? No,
Right,
I want to talk about what he said.
Let me tell
you have said
let me
Hinduism
have a
is like
word.
the coronavirus,
No,
which must be eradicated. I cannot move from that statement. You are running away from the statement, Mr. Pulla Rao. Kindly don't run. Kindly don't avoid the statement. The statement is in the public domain. You should have the courage to debate that statement. He has said that Hinduism is like dengue, which must be eradicated, and the Congress party has supported him.
That is for the Congress party to answer. Let me just bring you some context. Let me have a minute. I've heard all these gentlemen for 30 minutes. Let me have 1 minute. I was only trying to bring you that as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, this has been a subject from 1920. I didn't create it, or nobody else created it. It's the debate. The first government of Tamil Nadu, 1935, was by the Justice Party, which espoused these things. This is part of a debate there going on. I don't support it. But neither has it created that impact in Tamil Nadu, because they've been listening to these arguments, counter-arguments. This has been going on from 1920.
Really? You call this an argument? You call for the eradication of a religion an argument. You call for the eradication of a religion. You say, 1 minute, sir, you say that calling a religion dengue fever, calling a religion a disease is an argument. You actually try to intellectualize this.
It is not an argument.
And you are trying to justify it.
No.
You call this an argument, sir? I am a Hindu, sir. You are saying that my faith is a disease. It is not an argument, sir. Not in a civilized society. You cannot have that argument. You can talk about religions. You can follow another religion. You cannot fall for the eradication of a religion and make it a subject of political consolidation. It is wrong. And what is wrong must be called out for being wrong. Don't intellectualize it, sir. Don't try to put it in an aspect of contemporary history or try to be patronizing to me and say I don't understand the regional vicissitudes of the subject. Understand it for the morality and the ethics of it, Mr. Pulla Rao. It is wrong.
No.
Would you say anybody calling for the eradication of Islam could be intellectualized?
No, not at all.
Arnab, can I come in here?
Would you
We don't
intellectualize
support any of
anyone
these
calling for the eradication of Islam? Would you intellectualize it, sir?
No, you haven't let me finish a sentence. You have let me speak.
I will wait.
For 30
Sir,
seconds.
you've been talking sentences over sentences and you still feel that you're going to complete what you want to say in the next sentence. Please
Yeah,
allow me
definitely
to
I want
come
to
in.
complete it.
While you
I'll hear you with patience. Let me
sir.
complete it.
I haven't even spoken, sir. I haven't even spoken.
Okay, let me
you can't hear with me. Right. Yeah. One thing that you've said, this is an argument. And, the people who've given that statement and this gentleman who was actually laughing out and mocking the other panelist while they were speaking, I would start with his comment as he is a Congress representative here. He said that he do not agree with Mr. Stalin's son, what he said yesterday on one ground, that he equated Sanatan Dharma / Hinduism with corona or malaria or other sort of infections. And he says Hinduism is even worse. We've taken that as a formal statement of Congress party, and I'm sure you're going to answer that. So if agency, you're the custodians of law, you sit in the legislation, you make law, while you could not respect the Article 21 of the Constitution that bestows the right to all Indian citizens to practice, profess any religion they want. While the Article 21 stands, you cannot call for an abolition, eradication, or such words to any system of faith in India. While I would also go ahead and say, no, sir, please, I'm going to say and you can have your say. While you say that this gentleman had said that the Sanatan Dharma should be abolished, should be eradicated, he's very much confused in his own legacy. He gets his name from his father, Stalin, which he gets further from Joseph Stalin, who actually enacted a law that made atheism a state law. And he butchered priests, he bought down churches. While he's a practicing Catholic in Tamil Nadu, he promotes Catholicism, he promotes Christianity, and he gets his name from an atheist. So you preach what Britishers has told you because they are the people who bought the census that was first done in India on the basis of caste. There was no such census before. They take the legacy from Britishers, while FIR says that the only language that can replace Tamil was English. And then you are promote Christianity while you say that the Hinduism will be eradicated, and then you end up calling it an argument, taking away my constitutional rights. And you say that you're an argument, sir. At least make your defense as sensible as people of India are. You are utterly confused and don't think we'll get confused just because of vote banks. Sanju has very nicely explained.
This has become an issue.
And you portray different. Sometimes you're a Brahmin, sometimes you're the most references of casteism is made by the people who find that casteism should not be promoted. You are the person who has divided.
No. By the way, there is no need to be defensive on that because there is no need. First of all, I'll tell you, Sadhvi Jayabharti, you are more learned than me. But there is no need to be defensive of this because Hinduism is the most pro-reform religion in the world. There is no other religion which has gone through as many evolutions and reforms to stay with the times as Hinduism. And only people who are empty-headed would comment about Hinduism in a regressive manner.
They speak about, they never speak a word about triple talaq. They never speak about halala.
Neither does she know the relationship Stalin had with India. And I think she needs to study more.
The people, I'll bring in Dushyant now.
You do not know about
Vivek, I'll bring in Dushyant now. I'll bring in Dushyant. I just want to make a point before I bring in Dushyant.
You start making personal comments.
This has become a serious matter. It should become a very big issue before the 2024 elections. We cannot trust people who are against the religion of 80% of the people of this country. It is as simple as that. And let it be an open discussion and decision on it. No, I'm sorry. You cannot. The alliance has to come out with an official comment. No, otherwise, no, don't talk about Brahminical superiority and all that, because, one minute, because people like you support triple talaq and say it is a result of our religious diversity. You say there must be polygamy to protect religious diversity. You support nikah halala in the name of minority rights. Don't you speak about it. Don't you speak about it, Vivek Jinping.
Your Ramaswamy, your Periyar, EVR Ramaswamy married his own daughter.
I'll go to the show.
Why a few castes? And these people sitting over here, the Sadhvi and your Vedic scholar, Mr.
Okay, now, no, not at all, not at all. I am now formally,
the contribution.
I am now formally,
Ramaswamy married his
The
own
relationship of
daughter
Stalin with India was beautiful.
now my question is, please, I would just not request anyone to make any comments against any individual leaders, for nothing is necessary. We are debating a subject, and not an individual. And Sanju, therefore, please do not make such comments. And now my question is this, and I personally dissociate from such comments and I will edit them out. Now let me make my point. No, I will now, Sanju, now I'm focusing on the subject. Thank you, now I'm focusing on the subject. As part of my pursuit of the subject, my question is this, that some people are saying, why are you linking this to the India alliance? And my reasoning is very simple. I bring in Dushyant.
Yes.
You see, the DMK very senior leader has said this, point number one. That very senior leader is the son of the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. Point number two. Point number three, Congress leaders like Karti Chidambaram, very senior in the Tamil Nadu Congress, have supported it. Point number four, the Congress is silent on it. Point number five, in this event, which was about the eradication or abolition of Hinduism, right? In this event, CPM MP Sue Venkateshan, effectively part of the organization committee of this confluence, which seems to me to be a Hindu hate promoted event. There are CPM people, there are CPI people, and there are DMK people. So it is obviously a position supported by individual constituents of the INDIA bloc. It's as simple as that. Therefore, I think it is the bloc which is answerable. I really think it is. Now I'd like to hand over to Dushyant Sridhar.
Common minimum program. It is not a part of the common minimum program. It is not a part of the common minimum program.
Well, it better be. Well, it better be. Your clarification better be.
Okay. Yeah, it is not. Yes.
Hindu phobia seems to be
Namaskaram, Arnab. My earnest request is to...
That needs to be studied. Yeah. Yes, Dushyant, please speak. We are waiting.
Arnab, namaskaram and namaskaram to my fellow panelists. I have an earnest request. Please fade the other volumes down. I was very patient. I never interrupted. I don't have the energy to shout. One, at the opening you said, if such uncharitable remarks were made against any other religion, what would be the reaction? Your question was right, but I'll tell you why such uncharitable remarks are reserved only for Hinduism. Because Hinduism, the 80% of India, which is the majority Hindu community, is an orphaned community. There is nobody to raise voice for this religion. So anybody and everybody who passes by the street can always hurl stones and abuses at this religion. That said, let me now get into one aspect for all your viewers. What is Sanatana Dharma? It is the eternal truth. Do we have references for it? In Srimad Ramayanam, in Kishkindha Kandam, when Vali abducts his brother's wife, Rama says you need to be killed, Vali, because you have abducted your brothers.
Do you support caste system?
Brother's wife. So he says, can you please keep quiet for some time? Have the decency.
It's not beyond your head.
Now, 1, 2, Arnab, if they're not going to fade, I'm going to stop talking. If you're not going to fade the other voices, they are irrelevant. 1.
Continue,
Second,
continue, and please, Vivek, be quiet.
Krishnam Dharmam Sanatanam.
Talking of facts and figures.
Because you are not educated enough, you are not having the patience to listen. You come from a failed party. 2 and 3. And 3, Arnab, speaking the truth, Satyam Vada Dharmanchara is Sanatana Dharma. So they are against the eternal truth of speaking the truth. So all this is why they are against. Now coming to the conference, what was held, Arnab, prior to Udayanidhi Stalin, there was this person called K. Veeramani who said that Hinduism and Sanatana Dharma are synonymous words. Hinduism is equal to Sanatana Dharma. Followed by him was Udayanidhi Stalin's speech where he said Sanatana Dharma needs to be abrogated. It needs to be abolished. It needs to be annihilated, which means the religion should be annihilated. There is no misunderstanding in the statement at all. And I would absolutely commend Udayanidhi Stalin for towing the Dravidian line. In 1957 or no, Periyar, who is their ideologue, openly said that thousands of Brahmin agraharams should be burnt and Brahmins should be killed. So much so, in November 1957, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru wrote a letter to Kamaraj stating that this man should be put in an asylum. He is calling for an open genocide. So this has been there as a part of their history. And second, their threat to storming and bombing temples, their breaking of idols, their putting chappal mala to Rama and Sita has been there going on for the last 60 years. Maybe it is not noticed by the media because media at one point in time never looked south of Vindhyas. They didn't notice all of this. All of this is there in the public domain. But one thing that I would like to conclude my small talk, Arnab, with. Medatithi in his commentary states, Yavat samsaram yesha dharmaha. Till this universe exists, Sanatana Dharma or Hinduism will live. So immaterial of whether he calls for a genocide or not, Hinduism will live and Sanatana Dharma will live. With this positive note, I would like to give a bundle of confidence. Whichever party supports or doesn't support, doesn't matter. Hindus can stand up for themselves.
No.
Yeah, but I would repeat this time. There is a general election that is going to happen in this country, and a general election has to be a referendum on fundamental issues. You have said that the religion of 80% of the people of this country should be eradicated. You think you can have an alliance that can keep quiet on this?
No.
You think this debate is trending just like that?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You think people are not watching this?
You're talking of Dalit upliftment.
Sadhus were lynched.
Is the BJP trying to say that there should be no reservation? Nothing happened against the Dalits?
He's a part of the
government. You want to abolish it? Is that the official stand of the BJP and Sanju Verma?
A Hindu sadhu was killed in Rajasthan, Mahan.
If everything was so great about Sanatan Dharma,
why did
Ambedkar leave and become a Buddhist?
In 2022, a Hindu sadhu will
Ladies and gentlemen,
mythology.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will return to this subject tomorrow, and I will debate this again at 9 o'clock tomorrow. At 9 o'clock again, we will debate this tomorrow. For there will be no running away from this subject. Either the I.N.D.I.A alliance makes a statement on it, or we will know where they stand. It's as clear as that. Hindus are both assertive and proud of being Hindus. You cannot abuse their religion, threaten to eradicate it, and then go asking for votes. Arvind Kejriwal should also speak up on this subject. Ladies and gentlemen, some tweets tonight. Parshuram says, don't apologize, I.N.D.I.A. Thanks for bringing all Sanatanis now together. Shobha Chandla says, they are a potent threat to the entire Hindu community. Pinky Verma says, in their hatred for Modi, the dotted alliance has now become openly hateful towards Hindutva. Ladies and gentlemen, the opinion is clear, the opinion is strong, the debate is trending, and we will be back with this at 9 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, I promise you tomorrow. And on the other side of the debate, we have two really sharp debates, including the whole issue of how an anti-national statement, a pro-Pakistan statement, has now become the subject for a new twist in the 370 case in the Supreme Court. I'm back in a few minutes.
The top-ranked Amity BTech attracts some of the most brilliant students of India who get global exposure at the 5-week study abroad program at Amity's global campuses at no additional tuition fee. To apply, visit amity.edu.
The countdown has begun for the big G20 moment, the summit that would be taking place in just 5 days from now. Ahead of the G20 summit in the national capital, the city's Top hotels are all set to host the heads of states of the participating countries. In fact, advanced teams have already started to arrive in the national capital to recce the venues as well. Delhi's Taj Palace has been a trusted host for diplomats and world leaders for the past 40 years. Here's how the security preparations have been taking place as the national capital gears up for the big G20 summit that would be taking place in just 5 days from now.
With flower showers, aartis and tilaks. New Delhi's Taj Palace is all set to welcome its G20 guests and delegates with one ideology, Atithi Devo Bhava, meaning guests are akin to God.
So how are you going to welcome the guests upon their arrival? What is this ritual that we see over here?
So we have been welcoming guests since last 40 years and we are known for hosting head of states. So in this welcome, as we all know and we have always heard about Atithi Devo Bhava, and that's the value that we're literally going to live by during this. So we are welcoming the guests with an aarti and tikka and in a silver thal which is adorned by peacock motifs. And
and explain the relevance of the peacock over here.
So we've got peacock. So peacock, as we all know, it's a national bird, and it's also found across our hotel lobby, and it is being used extensively in our decor. So that's the reason we've got this thali being developed specially for this G20 welcome.
But even as the hospitality is expected to be top-notch, preparations for security arrangements are being made just as meticulously. Not far away, the Lee Meridian Hotel is also leaving no effort unspared to ensure the safety and the security of its guests.
Of course, our staff is attuned to these kind of moments, but yes, this is very, very crucial because so many head of states at one point of time in our national capital is going to be for the first time. So yes, there is a heightened sense of safety and security, which our security team, along with the local agencies, be it the Delhi government, the police, everything, they all are working together. I'm sure you must have also experienced it right now, which is almost a week ahead of the visit. So yes, there is heightened security, and the team is trained. Last week we had a drill with the NDRF on how the evacuation has to happen. So there's a lot of training which has happened previously also.
And that's not all. Preparations are ongoing for all contingencies.
As the security is concerned, the details, if there is an influx of other guests as well, how
Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
Recently, we have seen one report published by the editor-in-chief of India is highly condemnable, and we condemn it in the strongest term.
The top-ranked Amity BTech attracts some of the most brilliant students of India, with alumni working in top companies around the world and earning over 2 crores rupees per annum. To apply, visit amity.edu.
Now, as the Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi has called for a special session of the Parliament on the 18th of September till the 22nd, Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge has called for a special session of the Alliance Party leaders at his residence tomorrow at the Rajaji Marg in the national capital. As per sources, the opposition leaders will deliberate on and decide their strategy for the upcoming special session that would be held from the 18th till the 22nd of September.
There is a mega huddle in opposition ahead of Parliament's special session. Days after the announcement of special Parliament session from September 18 to 22, Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge has called a meeting on I.N.D.I.A block MPs on September 5. According to sources, the I.N.D.I.A block leaders will decide their strategy for the upcoming parliamentary session. The meeting comes amid the massive face-off over centre's One Nation, One Poll push. with Adhir Ranjan refusing to be a part of the 8-member committee, and Rahul Gandhi's attempt to fearmonger over one nation, one poll. But they have gotten it back from the BJP.
This dotted existence, they do not represent India. These roadblocks, this incomprehension is by the dotted existence of I.D.I.A. So this dotted existence cannot comprehend what India stands for, what India is.
Given the fact that the centre has formed 8-member panel to explore the possibility of one nation, one poll, all eyes will be on the developments this week ahead of the Parliament session. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
The Union Home Minister Amit Shah launched, in fact, sounded the poll bugle in poll-bound Rajasthan. He launched a blistering.
Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
He is a citizen of India. How can he say otherwise? And if anybody has said it, Milad, I, at my level, deprecate it.
We proceed on the basis that he's willing to file an affidavit before our court saying that, well, he owes allegiance like every other Indian citizen to the Constitution of India, and that Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of the country.
First of all,
but I'm sorry for your interruption. Another aspect.
Now, as the Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi has called for a special session of the Parliament on the 18th of September till the 22nd, Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge has called for a special session of the Alliance Party leaders at his residence tomorrow at the Rajaji Marg in the national capital. As per sources, the opposition leaders will deliberate on and decide their strategy for the upcoming special session that would be held from the 18th till the 22nd of September.
There is a mega huddle in opposition ahead of Parliament's special session. Days after the announcement of special Parliament session from September 18 to 22, Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge has called a meeting on I.N.D.I.A block MPs on September 5. According to sources, the I.N.D.I.A block leaders will decide their strategy for the upcoming parliamentary session. The meeting comes amid the massive face-off over centre's One Nation, One Poll push. With Adhir Ranjan refusing to be a part of the 8-member committee, and Rahul Gandhi's attempt to fearmonger over One Nation, One Poll. But they have gotten it back from the BJP.
This dotted existence, they do not represent India. These roadblocks, this incomprehension is by the dotted existence of I.N.D.I.A. So this dotted existence cannot comprehend what India stands for, what India is.
Given the fact that the centre has formed 8-member panel to explore the possibility of one nation, one poll, all eyes will be on the developments this week ahead of the Parliament session. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
The Union Home Minister Amit Shah launched, in fact, sounded the poll bugle in poll-bound Rajasthan. He launched a blistering attack on the opposition bloc over the Sanatan Dharma insult by Udayanidhi Stalin. The Union Home Minister said that the people of the country will not forgive the opposition bloc for the Sanatan Dharma insult and that it will have a bearing on the 2024 general elections.
Union Home Minister launched BJP's Parivartan Yatra in poll-bound Rajasthan. On the occasion, Shah addressed a public rally at Bineshwar Dham in Dungarpur district in Rajasthan. Home Minister Amit Shah lashed out at the opposition I.N.D.I.A parties over remarks against Sanatan Dharma, accusing them of insulting Sanatan Dharma for vote bank and appeasement politics.
की संस्कृति का, इस देश के इतिहास का, सनातन धर्म का अपमान कर रहे हैं। इंडिया अलायंस के दो प्रमुख दल डीएमके और कांग्रेस पार्टी, इनके बड़े नेता, एक वित्त मंत्री का बेटा और एक मुख्यमंत्री का बेटा, वो कह रहे हैं सनातन धर्म को समाप्त कर देना चाहिए। मुझे बताओ भाई, सनातन धर्म को समाप्त करने के लिए आप तैयार हो क्या? अरे जोर से बोलो तो।
Accused of creating more tension in Manipur. FIR filed against Editors Guild of India. Tech fog to Manipur. Is there a Lutyens' shield to fake news? Arnab debates at 10 p.m.
From the Delhi studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Arnab Goswami on the debate at 10, powered by Reva University, Quick Heal Secure Right, Green Lamb Laminates, PolicyBazaar.com and Cucina, co-powered by Mankind Pharma and Tata Punch.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and now time for the nation's sharpest opinion. Where I don't pull my punches, I never do. Where I speak freely, I always do. And I'd like to expand on an issue on which I believe you should think. And you should think, ladies and gentlemen, tonight on how a sundry group of self-appointed people claim to be the Editors Guild of India. I like to pun on it. I say they are a crying shame. I say they should be ashamed of themselves for their hypocrisy. I say they should be ashamed of themselves for being an extension of political groups. I say they should be ashamed of themselves for the fact that there are very few editors, mostly ex-editors, some sundry socialite columnists, and ex-head controversial of the Amnesty, and ex-politicians who come together in an interest group and claim to be the Editors Guild of India. They are not. They are just a quasi-political group. They are a lobbying group. They are people with a clear political intention. They are virtually an extension of the I.N.D.I.A. alliance. They have no objectivity. And ladies and gentlemen, they do everything to really sully the profession of journalism. And that is why I call them the Editors Guild of India. Guild of India. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the people who are virtually clapping. When the Uddhav government went after the Republic Media Network, they tried to lecture us. They are spineless, ladies and gentlemen, and they are vulnerable to their own mistakes again and again. When the West Bengal government files repeated cases against the Republic Media Network, the Editors Guild of India applauds by virtue of its silence. They claim to represent journalists. What a crying joke, ladies and gentlemen. When people carry out cases of fake news that sully and dirty the profession, and when the wire, that pamphlet, is caught in the middle of the tech fog scam for fake news, the Editors Guild of India supports the wire. In other words, they support fake news and they claim to uphold journalistic values. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no greater emblem of hypocrisy in this country today than the Editors Guild of India. And that is why I am not surprised that the Editors Guild of India is now caught in the middle of a huge fake news scandal by putting deliberately false news and fake news to try and incite the situation in Manipur. When caught red-handed, they say, oh, it was just a mistake, we'll clarify it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Editors Guild of India, this scandal has come on the heels of the NewsClick scam and the repeated exposés of the financial and managerial involvement of the Soros groups in funding completely sold out news sites in our country. We at Republic believe that it is truly time for these individuals, groups, entities, sites, compromised individuals, organizations, whatever, to come together and introspect on how much they have fallen and how much leeway they have taken by claiming to represent journalist values in our country. If the funding of certain news organizations is not clear, how can they claim to do independent journalism? Ladies and gentlemen, the Manipur government's FIR on the Editors Guild of India must be debated. I have myself questioned what has happened in Manipur, but I have done so freely, and I have done so responsibly, and I have done so on the basis of honesty and fact. But if people who claim to go and do fact-finding themselves put out fake news, then they really do not deserve to operate as a guild or guilt, whatever they are. Ladies and gentlemen, let's debate.
In early August, little over 3 months after violence had broken out in Manipur, the Editors Guild of India had sent a 3-member fact-finding committee to the northeastern state to inquire into what it said were incidents of the media's incorrect reporting. That Editors Guild panel published its report on Saturday, a report that has invited an FIR from the Manipur government.
Recently, we have seen one report published by the Editor Guilds of India, and the points which was raised and comments by the Editor Guilds of India is highly condemnable, and we condemn it in the strongest term. Investigation is on in different way, in different places. But in the meantime, how the Editor Guilds conclude?
Republic has accessed the complaint, which quotes multiple excerpts of the Editors Guild report and presents counters.
The so-called fact-finding report of the Editors Guild of India is riddled with inconsistencies and incorrect claims, something that has been highlighted by the complainant, based on which the FIR has been registered. At least on 4 counts, they have been completely exposed, using the wrong pictures, forest land declaration, eviction, and influx of illegal immigrants. This complete report has now been chunked by the complainant.
The Editors Guild has even acknowledged at least one of the complaint items, wherein it had miscaptioned a forest official's house as a burning Kuki Zoo house. But the ecosystem is out in force to lend its support. The Press Club of India has demanded that the FIR be withdrawn, but its condemnation letter is scant on factual counters. About 10 months ago, the Editors Guild had come in for criticism after it backed the Wire's tech fog story, which was later proven wrong and retracted. Now, the allegation is on its own doorstep.
And I also giving warning to the Editor Guilds member. If you want to do something, please come to the spot. Please do visit here, see the ground reality, meet the representatives of the whole communities, and FIR against the members of the Editor Guilds who are trying to create more, classes in the state government.
With some of the fake news already conceded, will the Editors Guild and the Lutyens ecosystem be able to grandstand their way out of the allegations? Let's debate.
So, this scandal, I'd like to first start by asking Rinku Chumukchan, editor of the Imphal Times, about why this has become such a major issue. Mr. Chumukchan, if you can hear me, this is Arnab here. Why is the Manipur government taking this fake news by the Editors Guild so seriously?
It is not that the Manipur government is taking this issue of the so-called Editor Guilds of India that seriously. All the people of Manipur is taking this report very seriously because everything contained in this report, in the 24-page report, there's nothing true at all. Everything in every page, if you go one after another, you will find factual error in every pages. When you talk about, who is Editor Guilds to decide anything, to decide on an incident that whether who started this or who started that. Even the Supreme Court of India cannot decide, cannot give a direction or cannot give an order regarding this matter. They have appointed a 3-member team to investigate this matter, a 3-judge bench to investigate this matter, and then still now, it's not in the concluding part. They are still investigating the matter. So when the Editor Guilds of India, a 3-member team, they are supposed to reach here and investigate how the media reports that. India report, they said that much of the news dialect program for some of the communities, including the Paite Ma, it has been dropped out from the All India Radio, which is totally true, and it's just a make-up story. When you go on record, if you go to the All India report and find out that there has been nothing as such that none of the dialect program has been taken out from the All India Radio program. It is also a fact. And the Supreme Court of India, if it is the Press Council of India who come here, who visited here in the Manipur and investigate about this matter, whether the medias out here in the media Imphal are doing their job in an unbiased manner or not, then it is okay. Who is Editor Guilds to inquire or to investigate whether our media are reporting this or that? Who are they to decide?
They're a political group. Yeah, but Rinku, as you well know, I don't know what your own personal views on this are, but let me tell you what my thoughts are, Mr. Chumukchan. I believe, and I say this with all my conviction, that the Editors Guild of India is actually the Editors Guilt of India, because they carry the guilt of many fake news stories, many scandals and many scams. Point one. Point two, I do agree that there has to be something called depth. You can't fly down from Delhi, spend a couple of days and give a fact-finding report. Who the hell are you to come to a conclusion so quickly on a subject as you rightly say the Supreme Court is investigating? This is the atrocious superciliousness with which certain Delhi-based journalists treat issues concerning the northeastern part of the country. And Rinku, as a proud Assamese and someone from the northeast, let me say that I stand with you in your anger today at this kind of outrageous, sweeping comments being made about Manipur by these Lutyens journalists. Now, having said that, I'd like to bring in Shazia and Pankaj and everyone on the debate. This is a serious matter, Pankaj. And the Editors Guild has always done this. When the fake news about Wire came out, instead of condemning the Wire, the Editors Guild supported the Wire. Can I have him on the screen for I'm addressing the question to him, please? You very well know that, Pankaj. Can you hear me? Do you realize how strongly the people... Well, I'm asking for Pankaj on the frame, please. Pankaj. Yes, please, Pankaj.
See, I find it really amusing that Manipur Chief Minister saying that the Editors Guild did not have the authority to constitute a fact-finding team. Which provision of our constitution says that journalist bodies and civil society organizations are forbidden from finding out and revealing the facts of an incident? That too of such a serious nature. blaming Editors Guild for trying to create
Can I have
more
2
clashes
versus 2, 3 with the other
is something I would say noxious.
Pastor.
What did the 24-page fact-finding
No,
report
but that
of the Editors Guild say?
There is a picture.
What did it say?
There is a picture. 1 minute. There is a picture. 1 minute, Pankaj. 1 minute, Pankaj. This is about lying. You know, jhoot bolna. There is a picture of a burning building, Savio, and they say smoke is rising from a burning cookie house. It is nobody's house. It is not a cookie house. It is not a cookie house. It is a forest beat officer's office in Churachandpur. By calling it a cookie house, you are trying to incite cookies against Métis. It is very clear.
Editors Guild had already issued an apology for the error in the photo caption, saying the error crept in at the photo editing stage.
Error!
Arnab, can I please come in?
You are provoking cookies.
At the photo editing stage.
You are inciting communities. You say error.
Tell me,
Rajat.
the police had
Arnab,
Manipur police had invoked section
I have gathered some
66A.
information on ground. The Editors Guild's representation who went to Imphal barely moved out of their hotel rooms. How could they conduct
How can you say this?
an investigation? Sir, please look at the itinerary. They were barely there for 2-3 days. By the way, there was yet another fact finding by some Kerala pastors who came in a month back, and all they did was to create more.
So clear that Manipur government is bent upon teaching a lesson to the Editors Guild.
Continues to burn.
Manipur
The only
police had
problem is
first
that they
invoked
were here
section
to
66A.
incite violence. That was the real motive.
Even though the provision
The
has
real
been
motive
struck
is
down
to
by the
continue to
Supreme
corner
Court.
the government.
Now Manipur government's stand is that the officials
from your puppet masters. Your global puppet masters are controlling the Editors Guild.
So tell me, police can hurriedly write anything
the state was
obvious intention.
The state was barely coming to peace. It was barely having few incident-free days. But these Editor Guilds saw that this is an opportunity to scavenge. They saw an opportunity, Arnab, and they deliberately came down to further incite violence.
Great
this
word.
Is a clear, this.
Great
if you
word.
look at both the communities are looking
It
at
is
passing every
scavenging. It's
line
an appropriate word you are using. You see, I'll tell you, Rajat,
what about the leadership
these
of the
people,
state,
these has been sitting in Delhi, these has been sitting in Delhi, these has been sitting in Delhi, has been sitting in Delhi, think they can take a flight to the northeast and make comments. I remember one Lutyens journalist, quiz of the day, Savio. I remember there's one Lutyens journalist who went on television abusing Kashmiri Pandits, saying they deserve the atrocities on them. And the same Lutyens journalist, you remember who I'm talking about? Who also happens to be Hafiz Saeed's favorite Indian journalist, wrote and attacked, wrote all kinds of things in foreign publications, now is trying to change her line because she has been exposed too much. But she will forever remember that she is both known for being close to Neera Radia as well as for being Hafiz Saeed's favorite journalist. And these are facts which don't go away. They're in public imagination. Question being right now, ladies and gentlemen, quiz of the day, answers in your imagination. My question is this. My example. In page 4, Manasvi, of this Editors Guild of India so-called fact-finding report, they say that one individual by the name of Thunaujam Brinda took voluntary retirement from being a police officer and joined politics. Filed an affidavit saying the chief minister and top police brass forced her to let go of a person whose premises had drugs recovered. The fact of the matter is the same individual, Thunaujam Brinda, has deposed before a court of law under oath that no such thing has ever happened. My simple question is, Manasvi, do you know what this means? In the name of an Editors Guild report, this is lies, fiction, fiction.
Arnab, can I respond to you now? Arnab, this is a classic case of shooting the messenger over correcting the course of Manipur. 160 plus people died in Manipur. This was not the urgency then. The urgency of putting the FIR Editors Guilds of India is very much there. You can do whatever you want to do, but the reality is, where was this particular Chief Minister of Manipur when 160 plus people died? What was his urgency there? What were his priorities there? What was the priorities of the government? There was nothing there. And also, in the hurry of the FIR, they also mentioned Section 66A of the Information and Technology Act, which has been repealed, which has been taken back by the Supreme Court of India. The reality is, this is just a case, a classic case of shooting the messenger. The reality is, since 4 months, there has been no internet in Manipur. Since 4 months, people have died in Manipur. Communities are fighting in Manipur. But the Chief Minister is concerned about Editors Guild of India. That is his priority. And he wants
the government of Manipur has not filed an FIR with the police. It is an individual who is very much concerned about Manipur filing a complaint against the Editor Guilds of Manipur. An individual by name, Mangum Sarat, has filed a complaint.
But the Chief Minister is the one who's going in media, and
the Chief Minister to condemn about this, about the
Chief Minister is giving the
reports of an Editor
The Chief Minister is the one who's coming out in the media.
It is an individual, a very concerned citizen of Manipur who complained for inciting anger among the people of Maitis as well as the Cookies.
No, 1 minute, Manaswi.
You are wrongly
Manaswi.
Filing an FIR, it is not the government of Manipur. It is an individual, a very citizen who is filing a case to the Manipur police station against the three editors, not the government. So please don't, spread wrong information like the Editor Guilds of Manipur. The Editor Guilds of Manipur have been spreading all the wrong information here, and please do not try to do the same thing that they are doing.
What can you expect? I say something else. I say, what can you expect of the Editors Guild of India, whose great members include Shobha De, the ex-politician Ashutosh, and Akar Patel, who was earlier with Amnesty International? What do you expect from them? Journalism? Food for thought. And question being this, Shazia. I have criticized Biren Singh, by the way.
Arnab, that is
I have said he should be asked to quit, but I have not made up facts for it.
Yes,
Shazia.
Arnab, you were very... So, Arnab, you have been very tough. You have been very aggressive in the way you have taken on the violence in Manipur and the strife that is going on there. You did not leave any punches there. You were as tough could be. But Arnab, there's a difference between being a messenger and being an instigator. 3 points, please listen to me. The report says that the eviction was carried out against one community. And it's not just true, and not just it instigates and it's incendiary, because the drive began in 2015 and 413 houses were vacated for the welfare of general public. Of the 413 houses, 59 belong to Cookies, 143 to Maitis, 137 to Manipuri Muslims, 38 to Nagas, and 36 to Nepalis. A basic fact not mentioned, a false claim and a falsehood placed in the fact-finding report, so to speak, which says that one community was targeted. Just see how off journalism this is. And not just that, the report, the investigations are being carried out, and now FIR has been registered against Kuki NP Manipur leader, he who alleged and declared that no Maitis can enter Indian-Myanmar border town. So an FIR has been registered against this man. However, what is being said, that this man is being encouraged. Also another factual, a big falsehood and a canard and a deliberate lie planted in these embedded political workers who claim to be journalists. Seema Mustafa and the gang, let me tell you, and I know them very well. They're only in journalism to spit venom against Modi. They have no other purpose. They're not even journalists. So the EGI report said that members of the state leadership labeled sections of the Kuki Zo tribals as illegal immigrants and foreigners without any reliable data. Who are the members of state leadership? Have they given a name? How exactly were these Kuki Zo members called illegal immigrants? By whom and when? But you write that in the report. Why? Because you want the pot to keep boiling. And that was the idea. And let me tell you about Seema Mustafa, a lady who does not even know that the entire CA matter had nothing to do with Indian Muslims, who writes a book called The Idea of India and Shaheen Bagh. It calls herself a journalist. Poor thing doesn't even know that the entire CA Act had nothing to do with Indian Muslims.
Can I please come in?
But she did rabble-rousing and was part of a protest which had no basis in reality.
May I please come in?
Shazia ji, are you trying to say... Shazia ji,
yes, okay. I'd go to Savio first.
Are you trying to say
that I'd go to Savio first. Savio first because he hasn't spoken, and then Ramesh Sabarwal. Then I'll open it up.
Say that Manipur Chief Minister
Savio, please.
That an editor gets sitting in Delhi can create clashes in Manipur. Are you trying to say that the Chief Minister is so weak? Are you trying to say that on a national
May I?
That the Chief Minister is so weak?
Shazia and the other gentlemen, may I?
Names burning by spreading canard.
No. 1 minute.
Capitol Hill, what happened on that? Do you remember? Donald Trump's
yes, Savio, 1 minute.
By Editors Guild is so strong that it can weaken Manipur. Are you trying to say that the government is so fragile that someone
I think I must allow Savio to come in with just 1 point.
You don't speak a word on that front.
With just 1 point.
And you have not a word.
No.
But Arnab, you did not make up stories. You were factual. Arnab, you were very scathing in your criticism of the Manipur government, but you were factual about it. They are scathing, but they're not factual. They're creating stories.
But
that is my problem.
What is your accountability? What is the government's accountability? It's not about who's factual, who's not factual. It's about the accountability of the government.
Everybody knows who's accountability. Manasi, you don't even know what we're discussing.
My question comes
You're
to
so out of
No, it is about the guilt that has lost all credibility. I'd like to bring in Savio into the debate. Savio.
So I'm so glad
2 versus 2,
that
Savio.
these Farzi journalists and these troublemakers have been taken to task.
Shazia.
And they should be.
Shazia, can you
they have done this for far too long.
1 second.
Can you please throw some light? Can you please throw some light?
One of the few.
When in March this year,
visited
Biren Singh government took a cabinet decision to withdraw from the suspension of operation.
The issue.
Savio.
You know why you stumped? You are
why it was done.
Nice window. Stay on this.
Savio. I have given you truths and I have proven that these journalists were planting a lie.
Shazia, may I please?
So now you will go all over the place. The fact is, do you agree? Do you want matters in Manipur to come to a peaceful solution?
160 people died, not a word from you.
Are you enjoying the
160 people died, not a word from you. You are still against Editors Guild of India. They are nothing. They cannot do anything. The government has failed. Why don't you accept that? Why don't you say that the government has failed? Failure of the BJP government in Manipur.
I think we need to. I think I have some breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. This is major trouble for the Editors Guild of India, which has been caught in a fake news scam. Let's please limit this to what it is. It is a case of fake news. Period. Fake news. Fake news cannot be justified. Savio, please. Savio.
The fake news continues, Arnab.
So
on your television, they are saying
for someone who has been to Manipur,
which was invoked anyway.
For someone who has been to Manipur
Louder
not
with
once,
Savio.
but twice during the conflict, for someone who's been in Manipur not once but twice during the conflict, let me give you some facts. The facts on the ground are that both communities, Maitis and Kukis, are living under danger. They are living under the threat to their life. And do you know why? The reason that they are is because of fake news, which is spread time and again, day after day, day after day.
the fact that the FIR against
it is fake news
who were trying to create trouble there
Shazia,
and come
listen
in the
to
way
me.
of peace
Listen to me,
the
Shazia.
of strife
the fake news
should be taken. No, I will not listen. You're making some other point. It
continues
is unconnected
day
with this.
in, day out.
It is so
against the mighties, against the cookies.
Plant stories.
It's only fake news.
Stories.
The rape of the victims
you will tell
also happened because of fake news. That is the reason
why don't
you want more people to die? You don't want a peaceful solution.
Manipur.
You want what do you want to do?
So we have a situation right now.
Manipur is on a tipping point.
It is simply a case of fake news. I agree.
It is a tipping point of a civil war.
I want to tell the people.
Are going to kill each other.
I want to tell the people watching the program tonight.
Not one community, and I read out. These are the facts.
Can I come in?
Shazia, you should learn to listen sometimes.
Arnab, can I please come in?
1 minute. Just one point. Romesh Sabarwal. Romesh Sabarwal.
The report says that one community was targeted. Why would the report say that?
This is Savio.
And I've given you the figures.
This is Savio.
Tell me why. No, I want to ask you.
Why
do you think Seema Mustafa
Yeah, you're on the same side.
Why do you think Seema Mustafa did it?
I've been there, Shazia.
I want to ask you. Why do you think she did it?
I've been there, Shazia.
Your side only.
Why do you think she lied?
The fake news is the problem.
Basic news. This is a basic principle of
fake news is the problem.
I want to ask. I just want to say. I just really want to say tonight, it is such a shame. It is such a shame. 20 years back, people used to respect the Editors Guild of India. Today, the Editors Guild of India is a crying shame. It is a blot in the name of journalism. It is a political lobbying group. It is a meeting point for lobbyists, ex-activists, retired politicians and aspiring politicians. And I want to tell you this, Romesh Sabarwal, this Editors Guild of India, which is a Congress supporting group, tell me, Mr. Sabarwal, do you support fake news? Do you support fake news, Mr. Sabarwal?
No, we don't support. Arnab, my one question before starting. Please listen to me now. I am listening from last half an hour.
Is it all right? Is it all right to wreak havoc
before starting?
To destabilize Manipur further?
Shazia,
to keep rabble rousing? You don't want peace in the region?
Shazia, could you keep quiet?
Create lies?
What are the usual?
No, I want to understand. Is that true? Keep quiet because you don't have an answer, right? You don't have an answer. There's a difference between a messenger and an instigator of violence.
Please.
What is it?
साजिया जी
अरे मुझे बहुत गुस्सा आता है इस बात को देखकर ये जर्नलिस्ट नहीं है
Can I make a point?
I have no problems with the politics.
Can I make a point?
It is absolutely fine.
Let Mr. Sabarwal make his opening remarks. Savio, I'll come back to Mr. Sabarwal. My only question is, do you support fake news?
Please don't do that.
Do you support fake news, Mr. Sabarwal?
We don't support. Arnab, I have one question. Are you a member of Editors Guild of India or not? My first answer, ask a question to you. Before
I have quit long time back.
Are you a member
No,
of
I am not.
Editors Guild
I
of
never
India?
will be.
Okay.
It is not. I cannot be. No right-thinking journalist can be. It is the Editors Guild of India. I cannot be. Nobody, no journalist should be. Shobha De is a member of the Editors Guild of India. Shobha De. Shobha De. Which publication is Shobha De an editor of?
We appreciate.
Which publication is Akar Patel a editor of?
We appreciate.
नहीं, आप क्या बात कर रहे हैं?
But.
And Sanjay Kapoor.
पर अभी भी वेबसाइट दिखाती है
पढ़िए आप थोड़ा पढ़ लीजिए प्लीज जस्ट रीड द
वेबसाइट ऑफ द एडिटर्स गिल्ड ऑफ इंडिया एडिटर्स गिल्ड ऑफ इंडिया प्लीज
I can take them apart on individual pieces they've written. I know all of it. But right now I'm only
नहीं मिस्टर सबरवाल क्या बोले शाजिया 1 मिनट शाजिया क्या दिखाती है मिस्टर सबरवाल
to create a menace
क्या दिखाती है 1 मिनट what is Mr. Sabharwal saying?
Sir, still it shows that you are a member of the organization. Please rectify that. Now, I will tell you that
I am a member.
Don't support the fake news.
Then I am a member.
We have nothing to do with
that. That is also fake news.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go through.
I'll ask my lawyers to send them a notice. I'm going to ask my lawyers, the very big legal team, the very large legal team of the Republic Media Network will send them a legal notice. That is also fake news.
Yeah, I got shocked. I got shocked at how your name can be there. I was also shocked. So my submission is that we don't support the fake news, and the government of Manipur should have taken. They should have taken the action against the culprits also. The whole country has seen the unfortunate incident. I have not gone through the report of the Editors Guild of India. I've never read that, but I believe that what you are saying. I believe that because you are a credible journalist. There is no doubt about that. My submission is that the government of Manipur should not divert the attention toward this also.
Arnab was very tough with the BJP government in Manipur, was he not?
They should bring the report.
But Arnab
madam, please बोलने दो. आप बोलने नहीं देती किसी को. This is bad manner. Unethical चीजें हैं. हम आधा घंटा सुनते हैं.
आप बोल क्या रहे हैं? आप बोल क्या रहे हैं? आपको पता ही नहीं आप क्या बोल रहे हैं? इतनी जरूरी चीज हो रही है. वहाँ पे कितने बुरे हालात हैं और आप वहाँ पे आग लगाने वालों के साथ खड़े हैं. आप झूठ बोल रहे हैं. वो लोग
बोलने तो दो.
फर्जी खबरें कर रहे हैं. फर्जी जर्नलिस्ट.
कहाँ खड़े हैं हम लोग? हम कहाँ खड़े हैं? आप खड़े हैं. आप खड़े हैं. आपने पूरे भारत की महिलाओं को शर्मनाक किया. आप खड़े हैं.
आप चाहते हैं आप हालात खराब करने वालों के साथ खड़े हैं? क्या आप उनके साथ खड़े हैं जो चाहते हैं?
हम नहीं चाहते. आप चाहते हैं. आप चाहते हैं.
सुकून और अमन. आप चाहते हैं. क्या आप चाहते हैं झूठ लिखा जाए, मसाला डाला जाए, खबरें बनाई जाएं,
डिक्टेटरशिप बना रखी है,
जाने और जाए. मजा आ रहा है आप लोगों को?
तानाशाही
मजा आ रहा है.
डिक्टेटरशिप है. बैड मैनर्स है आप लोगों के. आधा घंटे से लोग सुन रहे हैं. बोले जा रही है आप.
अर्नब, यू आर मेंबर ऑफ इट. डू यू हैव इवन अ पॉइंट टू मेक?
क्या बोल रही हैं यार आप? बोलने नहीं देती किसी को. अर्नब, we condemn it. The Editors Guild of India
बोलने लायक है आपके पास?
We condemn
तो बोलिए ना.
And we don't support the fake news. तो मैडम मेरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, मेरी पार्टी कुछ कर रही है वहां पे. अब मेरे से क्यों लड़ रही हैं? आपके चीफ मिनिस्टर से हालात सुधरते नहीं है. आपके होम मिनिस्टर से कुछ होता नहीं है. आप प्रेसिडेंट रूल लगाते नहीं है. आप महिलाओं को नंगा करके परेड करवाते हैं और हमें लड़ रही है. आप हमें सिखा रही है. आपके लीडर आज तक गए नहीं.
अगर देखिए,
राहुल गांधी पहली बात तो मैं जाने के.
दूसरी बात तो आप झूठ लिखेंगे. आप झूठ लिखेंगे. आप झूठ लिखेंगे.
नरेंद्र मोदी जी गए कराएंगे. पूरा वर्ल्ड जानता है, पूरा संसार जानता है, पूरा भारत जानता है कि आपके प्रधानमंत्री वहां पर नहीं गए. आपकी पार्टी के नेता नहीं गए. आपको महिलाओं के बारे में आपको रिस्पेक्ट करना नहीं आता.
Do you not care for Manipur and its people? Do you not care? Don't you want peace to come to all the stakeholders?
You will care.
No, you don't want that.
Your chief minister, what is the chief minister doing here?
You want to keep rabble rousing, making up stories.
We don't want that.
We want a peace. But Mr. Sabharwal, please realize the situation today. No, Mr. Sabharwal, please realize the situation today. Please realize the situation today, sir. Sir, एक मिनट. Mr. Sabharwal, एक मिनट शांत हो जाइए. Mr. Sabharwal, you support this? क्योंकि एडिटर्स गिल्ड ऑफ इंडिया हर चीज में आपका समर्थन करती है, कांग्रेस पार्टी का समर्थन करती है. एडिटर्स गिल्ड ऑफ इंडिया ऑन एवरी इशू, रजत, supports the Congress party. It is like an extension of the Congress party. They cheered on the fake news in the name of Pegasus. Pegasus के नाम पे जितनी फेक न्यूज की आपकी पार्टी और एडिटर्स गिल्ड ऑफ इंडिया ने आपने की. You spread fake news about Pegasus.
You know, that's all right. They want to be political Congress party.
Member तो आप हो सोसाइटी के.
In a stage which is
आप member हो, बड़ा member है.
A volatile situation.
And you are a member. You were a member. This is your duty to.
I'll tell you one thing, Mr. Sabharwal. I don't know. I am not a member of Editors Guild of India. They may want to use my name. I condemn it. I will send them a legal letter. If they are misusing my name. I have resigned from the Editors Guild on live television. Still, if they want to use my name.
Sir, जिस पर्पस.
Sir, I am president of the News Broadcasters Federation. That is something else.
आप उसके प्रेसिडेंट बनिए.
I am not interested.
You should win that organization.
I am not interested. I am president of the News Broadcasters Federation. Please, now my point is this. My point is this. Rajat, no, serious point hai. These are the same people who supported NewsClick. NewsClick got 38 crores from China.
Of course.
And Editors Guild supported NewsClick.
Very sad.
And China benefits. 1 minute. China benefits by spreading fake news in Manipur.
Precisely.
China is against the sovereignty of our country.
This is the reason the economic offenses wing should also book and try and figure out what were the finances that moved to any of these individuals or any of their close relatives anywhere in the country. Where are the funding coming in from? It's important. The timing is suspect. It was a bundle of fake news, and even after the FIR, every aspect of the FIR itself is a fake news. They said 66A was invoked. I have the copy of the FIR right in front of me. There is no mention of 66A. They said the CM and the government of Manipur filed an FIR. The government did not do it. A citizen did. I mean, why do you want to carry on your lies in a state which is limping back to normalcy? There have been few incidents.
Well
First of all, sir, you were lying.
Yes, exactly.
You were lying on national television. I have a copy. I have a copy of the FIR before me,
This
sir.
section has been removed now.
Sir, you have not. You don't know Manipur. You have not read about anything. You haven't
it is not there in the FIR.
You haven't read the copy of the FIR. You have no idea.
It has been removed.
You have no idea,
and
sir.
The government's stand is that officials hurriedly wrote it.
The problem is, Arnab, the problem is that none of these people is genuinely interested in solving the problem of Manipur. They only want to feed, scavenge, get money from their international puppet masters. That's the whole point. This issue was getting behind us. The communities were marching forward. The talks were happening, but they wanted to burn it right at the time when the talks were normalizing. When both the communities were reaching to a conclusion behind doors, there were at least 50 rounds of talks that have happened with MHA. But these are the entities who don't want to see peace. They want to ensure bloodbath right till 2024 elections. That is the real motive.
The union government wanted a peaceful
negotiation. They do not want peace and normalcy. They do not have state,
but the growth government cabinet decision in March
does not have
to withdraw
stake
from
in the peace and the progress of this country. They are true anti-nationals. They are the definitions of what anti-nationalism is.
In March?
They don't believe they are only busy filling their coffers. They don't care. They don't care about the peace of this country. They don't care about the internal security of this country. They don't care about what Chinese interests are there in perpetuating the problem of Manipur. These people are definitions of anti-nationals. This is exactly how anti-nationals look like and feel like. Look into them. How can you understand the core problems of Manipur just by staying 3-4 days in the hotel Imphal? Should I put out the entire itinerary of these editors up in public domain? That they were resting and feeding there in these hotels and were trying to do fact-finding. What fact-finding can you do in 4 days, sir? It's such a complex state. The interlocutors, professional negotiators, they take years and years of training to be able to even speak to the communities and understand the issues. And these people, by going 4-day tourism, will they understand the complexity of that state? How can they? Is it even humanly possible? Have they ever devoted time and energy to understanding the Northeast? The Northeast wouldn't have been in this state of affairs. How many of them have professionally ever covered the affairs of Northeast regularly in the papers they were editors of, or TV journalists who were representing on TV? Nobody cared about that region. Now they see that there is one opening where they can perpetuate the story where India is burning. They want to carry it to the New York Times headlines. They want to carry it to Washington Post headlines and color the opinions around 2024.
That's the idea.
That is their limited, extremely narrow thinking of these Seema Mustafas and the lot. This is the core politics. I just want to rest my case here.
And these people are scavenging. No. These people are scavenging on the Northeast. Please add to that, Rajat. Add to that. These are the people who obliterated the Northeast from their pages. 1 minute. These are the people who has the Northeast developed over the last few years. As the geography, 1 minute. As across the geography of the Northeast there was development, as roads and infrastructure and hospitals were built across the Northeast, they blacked all of it out. When they have one opportunity, they jump onto it because these are the people who feed off a crisis. These are the people who make crores writing about poverty. These are the people who are the professional jholawalas who make tons of money at the expense of others. And now my question is this. My question is this, and I shall take a short break, and after that, I want to ask a question. Where was the Editors Guild of India? The Editors Guild of India when journalists were under attack in this country? Where was the Editors Guild of India when Republic was being targeted in Maharashtra? Where was the Editors Guild of India when the Republic crew was attacked by Trinamool goons in Asansol? Where was the Editors Guild of India when a freelance journalist was assaulted, stripped and threatened to death for reporting on Trinamool cadre? Where was the Editors Guild of India when the editor of a 98-year-old daily has its editor step down 4 days after Mamata Banerjee accused the paper of publishing fake news? Where was the Editors Guild of India then? Where were they? Ladies and gentlemen, 30 seconds and I'm back.
The top-ranked Amity B.Tech attracts some of the most brilliant students of India, with alumni working in top companies around the world and earning over 2 crores rupees per annum. To apply, visit amity.edu.
The Union Home Minister Amit Shah launched, in fact, sounded the poll bugle in poll-bound Rajasthan. He launched a blistering attack on the opposition bloc over the Sanatan Dharma insult by Udayanidhi Stalin. The Union Home Minister said that the people of the country will not forgive the opposition bloc for the Sanatan Dharma insult.
I think it's simple. I would just say, I mentioned a few cases. Where was the Editors Guild of India when journalists was in trouble? That or within journalists were under attack. I think that has become the real issue, Manasvi. We must understand. This group has lost all credibility. It has crumbled. And I think it needs to fold up. Manasvi.
Arnab, there is no doubt about it. The day you resigned, it was already a dead organization. But the reality is, the focus should be on the conduct of the Chief Minister of Manipur. But he wants us to debate on Editors Guild of India, and we will not debate on that. The reality is the failure of the government of Manipur, and this kind of diversionary attitude of the Chief Minister of Manipur should not be tolerated by the people of Manipur and the people of India. We have the right to question what is happening in Manipur. They want us to debate.
You and I, we all have a right to question, but if they have carried out fake news...
No, everyone is walking out.
And I would like to bring Rinku to debate that. I would like to Rinku Kumakchan, editor of the Imphal Times, is a very respected journalist from Manipur. I would like to hear him, please.
What Guilds do here is that the intention of publishing this report is nothing but to escalate the violence here in the state of Manipur. This report has angered many people, both the Meiteis as well as the Kuki communities. And you know how many days they spend here? Nearly 4 days. And how many hours they meet with the senior and the junior journalists out here in Imphal? Just nearly, not even 2 hours. They talk for just around 2 hours and write all reports of what things have happened, what not things have happened. They write everything. They write reports that is completely wrong. When it comes to the radio program, that is the AIR news program, everything has been, concocted, fabricated. Nothing truth has been mentioned here in this report. And what is the reality is, Mr. Arnab has rightly pointed out question. What is the Editor Guilds of India doing at the time, when every journalist is suffering? This is a right question, and I am also asking the same thing. Why the Editor Guilds of India came here in the Manipur and submit a fact report that might escalate the violence here, when the government of Manipur, as well as the people of Manipur, as well as the people of the country are, trying hard to find a solution. What they are doing, they simply want to pour, fuel to the burning.
No, but this is serious. This parachuting of 4 people, spending a little time in maybe a 5-star hotel, going back and writing a report, putting out fake news, and then justifying it. And Mr. Sabharwal, you get angry when Shazia questions it.
Important about the role they.
You get angry.
When I was agreeing.
On fact, and I question them on fact.
I am comfortable.
And only saying they're political workers, Arnab, I have known them as political workers for the longest period.
You are ex-member of the Editors Guild of India.
That's all right. But when they make up stories and try to plant lies in a situation sensitive and volatile as in Manipur, I have a huge problem. Because they are actually promoting enmity. They do not want peace to take place. They want to keep rabble rousing and they want to keep the fires burning.
You didn't have a problem when the Chief Minister of Manipur did not speak. You didn't have a problem when 160 people died in Manipur. You had only problem. Your problem started only when once Editors Guild of India wrote a fake news. It's a great thing. Finally, you had a problem with the issue.
But you don't have to lie and make it worse.
Woke up.
You don't have to lie. You have to find a solution.
160 plus people died. You didn't speak a word.
You don't want to make the situation worse.
The Manipur Chief Minister was silent for 4 plus months. You didn't speak a word.
And you were enjoying it.
The government of Manipur was silent.
You were enjoying it because you were scoring brownie points.
And
shame on you.
Cared about
Shame on you. You were scoring brownie points. You were enjoying it.
No one cares
You were
about.
enjoying
Which
it.
can do
For you,
nothing
it
in
was
this country.
feasting on it. And now some vultures go there pretending to be journalists. This is vulturism, not journalism. Vulturism.
Prime Minister never visited.
Vulturism, not journalism.
Your Chief Minister never resigned.
Please. Let's not call them journalists.
Your Chief Minister never resigned.
They call themselves political vultures. I'm fine
Editors
with it.
Well,
this is just a cozy draft. Savio, what are your thoughts on this Editors Guild right now?
report says that journalists in Manipur wrote one-sided reports. Please tell us something on that.
We are believing Mr.
And the kind of economy which is trashed in Manipur. What is your role and responsibility?
Savio,
The report says that
Savio, I'm told there's a lot of anger in Manipur against the fake news of the Editors Guild. Savio, I'm told there's a lot of anger in Manipur about the fake news of the Editors Guild. Yes, please go on, Savio, you've been there.
Can I answer?
You don't want to speak on Manipur. You don't want to give justice.
I've been to Manipur and let me tell you
don't care about
the floor is yours, Savio.
This Editors Guild of India.
Please let me tell you
no one cares about it.
Let me tell you a reality of Manipur. The people of Manipur are good people. Maitis and Cookies are good people. Can we stop spreading fake news on social media, on mainstream media?
Yeah.
That is the reason why the conflict is only exaggerating. That conflict turned violent.
Correct.
And that's why women were paraded naked because of fake news. Wake up, guys!
Which is so
These are good people.
These
are innocent people who are brought into a conflict. Because of fake news.
And ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of anger against the Editors Guild of India. And while the Press Club of India has supported the Editors Guild of India, there are people, I'm told, within the Press Club of India who are saying this was a unilateral decision. Anyway, such are the times, ladies and gentlemen, when groups who claim to represent journalists, they don't at all. When they support fake news, what can we expect? And that's why we are neither members of the Editors Guild of India or the Press Club of India. We stand for the rights and the voice of the people of India. I shall see you tomorrow at 9. Good night and goodbye.
The countdown has begun for the big G20 moment, the summit that would be taking place in just 5 days from now. Ahead of the G20 summit in the national capital, the city's top hotels are all set to host the heads of states of the participating countries. In fact, advanced teams have already started to arrive in the national capital to recce the venues as well. Delhi's Taj Palace has been a trusted host for diplomats and world leaders for the past 40 years. Here's how the security preparations have been taking place as the national capital gears up for the big G20 summit that would be taking place in just 5 days from now.
With flower showers, aartis and tilaks. New Delhi's Taj Palace is all set to welcome its G20 guests and delegates with one ideology, Atithi Devo Bhava, meaning guests are akin to God.
So how are you going to welcome the guests upon their arrival? What is this ritual that we see over here?
So we have been welcoming guests since last 40 years, and we are known for hosting head of states. So in this welcome, as we all know, and we have always heard about Atithi Devo Bhava, and that's the value that we're literally going to live by during this. So we are welcoming the guests with an aarti and tikka, and in a silver thal which is adorned by peacock motifs. And
and explain the relevance of the peacock over here.
So we've got peacock. So peacock, as you all know, it's a national bird, and it's also found across our hotel lobby, and it is being used extensively in our decor. So that's the reason we've got this thali being developed specially for this G20 welcome.
But even as the hospitality is expected to be top-notch, preparations for security arrangements are being made just as meticulously. Not far away, the Lee Meridian Hotel is also leaving no effort unspared to ensure the safety and the security of its guests.
Of course, our staff is attuned to these kind of moments, but yes, this is very, very crucial because so many head of states at one point of time in our national capital is going to be for the first time. So yes, there is a heightened sense of safety and security, which our security team, along with the local agencies, be it the Delhi government, the police, everything, they all are working together. I'm sure you must have also experienced it right now, which is almost a week ahead of the visit. So yes, there is heightened security, and the team is trained. Last week we had a drill with the NDRF on how.
Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
Recently we have seen one report published by the Editor Guilds of India is highly condemnable, and we condemn it in the strongest term.
Now, as the Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi has called for a special session of the Parliament on the 18th of September till the 22nd, Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge has called for a special session of the Alliance Party leaders at his residence tomorrow at the Rajaji Marg in the national capital. As per sources, the opposition leaders will deliberate on and decide their strategy for the upcoming special session that would be held from the 18th till the 22nd of September.
There is a mega huddle in opposition ahead of Parliament's special session. Days after the announcement of special Parliament session from September 18 to 22, Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge has called a meeting on I.N.D.I.A block MPs on September 5. According to sources, the I.N.D.I.A block leaders will decide their strategy for the upcoming parliamentary session. The meeting comes amid the massive face-off over centre's One Nation, One Poll push. With Adhir Ranjan refusing to be a part of the 8-member committee, and Rahul Gandhi's attempt to fearmonger over One Nation, One Poll. But they have gotten it back from the BJP.
This dotted existence, they do not represent India. These roadblocks, this incomprehension is by the dotted existence of I.N.D.I.A. So this dotted existence cannot comprehend what India stands for, what India is.
Given the fact that the centre has formed 8-member panel to explore the possibility of One Nation, One Poll, all eyes will be on the developments this week ahead of the Parliament session. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot overlook the fact that a very, very, very important member, constituent party of the I.N.D.I.A. alliance has called for the eradication of Hinduism. We cannot disregard the fact that senior leaders of the Congress party have joined the DMK in calling for the eradication of Hinduism, in calling for the eradication of Sanatan Dharma. Ladies and gentlemen, it is inconceivable. The level of hatred against Hinduism is inconceivable, that the DMK and the Congress should be calling for the eradication of Hinduism. And the straight question would be asked, would MK Stalin utter such words about any other religion? And if he would not, then how does Udayanidhi Stalin have the right to utter such words about Hinduism? Would Udayanidhi Stalin, a very important leader of the I.N.D.I.A. alliance, has called for the eradication of Hinduism and has called for the eradication of Sanatan Dharma in all levels of abuse and attack? This is by far the worst. Karti Chidambaram, son of P. Chidambaram, a very senior Congress leader, has supported the call to eradicate Sanatan Dharma, ladies and gentlemen. And now even if they try to qualify it, we must not allow it. The only question we must ask again and again, repeatedly, with more force and more anger, we must ask them, would they say such words about any other religion? We must ask them, would they call for the eradication of any religion? Apart from Hinduism, would they call for the eradication of Buddhism or Sikhism or Islam or Zoroastrianism? Why just Hinduism, ladies and gentlemen? And how is this okay? The question is not how the DMK is saying it. The question is, how is the Congress party justifying it? Would Sonia Gandhi be quiet today if anyone called for the eradication of Christianity? Would Rahul Gandhi be quiet for that matter? But it's, of course, in this case, it's about eradicating Hinduism, so it's all right. Par for the course. This is how these people qualify themselves to be secular. That's why I call them pseudo-secular. Ladies and gentlemen, people who are concerned about the slightest lack of empathy towards the minority community today are clapping and applauding as the DMK, followed dutifully by the Congress, is calling for the eradication of Hinduism. What about Hindu sensitivity? What about it? Is it wrong to ask? 80% and more of the population of this country follow a faith which some people are calling to be eradicated. And how does Sharad Pawar, Rahul Gandhi and Lalu Prasad and Mamata Banerjee and all the rest of them feel that this is not an issue to be speaking about? And they expect the people of this country to entrust them with power in this country. Before you vote for someone, you would like to have certainty on certain basic principles. What is their position on foreign policy? What is the secret document they have signed with the Chinese? How do we know the contents of that secret document cannot be used by the Chinese to blackmail the country if they come to power? Similarly, ladies and gentlemen, what is their fundamental position on Hinduism? It is a relevant question. And asking that question repeatedly does not make us communal, it makes us truly secular. What is their real position on Hinduism? Some of their member parties say break Hinduism in Karnataka. Some of their member parties say eradicate Hinduism. Then they join them and say eradicate Sanatan Dharma. There are no limits. But I think we have a right to know what is their position on Hinduism. And then they give lectures about Mohabbat ki dukaan. Does Rahul Gandhi have the guts to go to the United States of America and call for the eradication of Christianity? Does Rahul Gandhi have the guts to go to the United Kingdom and call for the end of the Anglican Church? Or more specifically, does Rahul Gandhi have the guts to go to Italy and ask for an end to the Catholic faith? Can he? And if he cannot, and if anyone else did, he would not be quiet if he was an Italian politician. And if he calls himself an Indian politician, then he cannot, and I repeat, cannot be quiet when a major constituent of the I.N.D.I.A. alliance is calling for the eradication of Hinduism. This is a serious matter. It is not just a semantical or dialectical or polemical matter. This is a matter which has touched a chord with the people of this country. It's going to Mumbai, sitting in a 7-star hotel, talking about the good old times, does not generate faith in the hearts of the people of this country. The alliance, the DMK and the Congress particularly should know that if they have dared to call for the eradication of Sanatan Dharma, then this fact will be repeated again and again and again. And people who follow Hinduism, the Sanatan Dharma, cannot forgive, cannot forget such a statement. Ladies and gentlemen, this is no Mohabbat ki dukaan. This is hate beyond the extreme. It is hate against Hindus. Let's debate, ladies and gentlemen. Debate number one. Debate number one is simple. We must say the only way is to apologize to the Hindu community. Ladies and gentlemen, debate number two this evening. The editor's guilt with a capital T, the editor's guilt of India has been caught red-handed in another fake news case. Debate number 3 tonight. And rightly so, the Chief Justice wants a pledge of allegiance from an anti-national National Congress leader who raised anti-India slogans. Great controversy at 10:30 p.m. and here are the headlines this Monday evening on the debate tonight.
I don't care. I still stand by whatever I said. The DMK party was formed for social justice. I will always talk about it. I will always talk about what are the defects of the Sanatana. I never called for genocide. Do you have any proof?
I.N.D.I.A. top ally asks for the eradication of Hinduism, asks for the eradication of Sanatan Dharma and is unapologetic towards the abuses hurled on Hindus.
Any religion that does not ensure that you have the dignity of being a human being is not a religion according to me.
More and more abuse coming from the I.N.D.I.A. alliance for the Hindu community. Rahul Gandhi tries to be quiet. Congress leaders endorse the demand to eradicate Hinduism. All of the country is completely shocked.
I have not the slightest hesitation in saying that the whole Ghamandiya conglomerate is anti-Hindu.
I.N.D.I.A. alliance in big controversy about the anti-Hindu position, about the abuse to the Hindu community.